It's day 2 in the case against a former school board member accused of fraud. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Patricia Valone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, closing arguments are heard today in the case of a former Prince George's school board member accused of stealing school lunches for her daughter. Our Byron Scott has more.
On this, the second day of the trial, only 2 people were called to testify. One was a friend of Lyn Munday who told the court that Munday was a truthful person, and then the defendant was called to testify. Lynette Munday told the court that at the time she initially applied for free school lunches for her daughter, she was either unemployed or not working as a result of the government shutdown of 2013. Munday, who still works with the Government Accountability Office and who served on the Prince George's School Board from 2013 to 2015 when she resigned, is accused of illegally obtaining free lunches for her child while she was making, at one point, $90,000 a year. When asked by her attorney about why some applications did not contain income levels or other information, Munday testified the mistakes were the result of haste or confusion. She added that her county ID number, which was included on the forms, provided the school system with access to her updated financial information. Munday said she was never notified that her daughter was getting free lunches and said she was putting money into her daughter's lunch account at school. Closing arguments are expected to go quickly, and then the case goes to the jury for deliberations. At the courthouse, Byron Scott, CTV News.
Thanks, Byron. The Maryland Legislative Black Caucus voices its frustration with Governor Larry Hogan and policies that members say are not inclusive. At a press conference today, the group criticized Hogan for ignoring the needs of minorities and suggested that his bills in the General Assembly could be in trouble if he doesn't start working with them. Some Black Caucus members went so far as to say they think the governor's decision-making is racially motivated.
So we have to beg for every little thing that we need, while other jurisdictions are being given handouts for things that weren't even on the books. So what we're saying is, right now you got to stop. Enough is enough, and we're not going to take it anymore.
Put the money where your mouth is. If you say that you're going to help Baltimore, then don't take away what Baltimore needs. Give us what we need. We aren't asking for handouts. We're asking for our tax dollars to go where they are needed.
There's assaults going on our black communities across the state, whether it's the Eastern Shore, the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, or is it Baltimore County? And to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to take it anymore.
A Hogan spokesman calls the accusations shameful and not supported by fact. He also points out that the governor's immediate family members are minorities and that his administration is racially diverse. Well, as the investigation into alleged sexual abuse at a Prince George's County school continues, a candidate for Congress is opening up about his own childhood trauma. Warren Christopher is a Democrat running in Maryland's 4th District. The retired Army Lieutenant Colonel, Homeland Security Advisor, and father of 2 says the Deontay Caraway case breaks his heart and opens old wounds. Christopher says he was molested by a teacher when he was just 10 years old.
It was extremely hard because I didn't believe that I could tell anybody. I felt all alone. I was raised by my grandmother, and the man that robbed me of my innocence was a well-respected person in the community, known by my grandmother, trusted by my grandmother.
Says sharing his story is a way to break the silence and fight stigmas, especially in the African American community.
I sought counseling in my adult life, and in my opinion, particularly in the black community, counseling is very taboo. In some cases, we feel that if you're praying, then you don't need counseling. But that is one of my goals, is to remove the stigma of mental health treatment. Counseling saved my life.
Christopher says current laws need to be strengthened or overhauled and new policies put in place to better protect children from predators.
2 people have been arrested in the murder of Osama El-Attari. The 37-year-old victim was found shot to death in his pickup truck in Upper Marlboro on Saturday. Police say robbery was the motive behind the slaying. The suspects have been identified as 29-year-old Eric Garris of Waldorf and 26-year-old Taqwa Muhammad of Lusby. Both are charged with first-degree murder. They're being held in jail on a no-bond status. El Attari was previously convicted of defrauding more than $50 million from banks in 2010. He served 51 months in prison for that crime. He was released early after providing the government with information about 2 other prisoners. And meantime, police have arrested a man in connection with a homicide in Greenbelt on Monday. 21-year-old Gerald Dickerson has been taken into custody for the shooting death of Robert Brandon. Police suspect that the incident is drug-related. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger.